Okay, today we are going to do a little journey from SketchUp to iClone. We are going to see if we can find something of interest at Google 3D Warehouse, as was, I now believe it's called Trimble, but it's pretty much the same. We start, and I am interested in a digger, so I'll go JCB, as I know that's the only one I can think of, and I shall select this one here. I will download it directly into my Open SketchUp document, and I shall place it on the origin. I will zoom extent. Oh, it's still moving. Right. Make sure that that is selected. Right, it is on the floor. Zoom extents. Rotating. Right. We still have little lady there. So we shall get rid of her. Delete. We shall still go back to extents and rotate. And we have a beautiful JCB digger. We know that it's all one object, and if we export that, it will all be just one object. But we want it to move in iClone, so we need to cut it into pieces. If we're going to explode it and break it into pieces, we want to make sure that all pieces, the origin of all the pieces is pretty much the same place, because things fly off and they will need to be animated. So let's group the object back together again as best we can. Select it all and make it into a group. And then we want to move it to the origin of our document. And for some odd reason, there seems to be more space on the right-hand side than there is on the left. I don't know why. There seems no explanation for that. But nevertheless, this is how our modeler has made his model. And of course, everything is really up to how the original modeler did his modeling. You can see the little red cross isn't in the center. In fact, it's quite far from it. But that is because there's so much space on the right-hand side. But by eye, we can place the origin near enough in the center of the axis of the cab, where the cab meets the tracks of the vehicle, and that's of course where we want our digger to do its main rotation. We want the arms and the bucket to rotate, of course, in different places, but for the moment, having everything originating from the center, or I don't know what you call it, the rotating part of the cab seems fine. We don't want to save our parts as SketchUp parts. We want to export them as a 3D model, an FBX file with only the current selection, triangulate all faces, export two-sided faces, and we'll give it the name of bucket. We'll delete it so we know it was done, and then we'll try and select what I'll call the arm. Could be a wrist, I suppose, but let's just check that all the little pieces are selected. There seems to be a hinge there that isn't selected, but it is on the other side because it is moved. But never mind, that's the way our modeler made it. Perhaps he knows something I don't. And we will export it as a 3D model, as an FBX file called arm. Then delete it. Now again, we've got funny little pieces of this model. The logo is different to the arm, boom, perhaps it should be called. That has to be selected. The piston, hydraulic pistons. And it's quite tricky sometimes to get all the pieces that you want. But persist, and we shall get all the pieces that we want to move. Deleting the parts that you saved as you go helps you remember what is done and what isn't done. And of course, when you come to a part that is all exploded, like this one, like the cab, is hundreds of parts, we'll select the tracks instead and export them first. Call it tracks. And SketchUp modelers like to make many polygons. Each of those tracks of that caterpillar track are individual components And he's made the model by, I suppose, copying and pasting, copying, pasting, copying and pasting, making it all the way round, ending up with thousands of polygons, which are far too heavy in most other programs. But, nevertheless, they are saved now, and we shall delete them. Now, selecting all that's left makes us select just the cab of our JCB digger, and we will call it CAB cab. Export, much quicker than the tracks, and we'll say OK. Delete, just for the fun of it. All gone. Now we want to get our parts into iClone, and we'll use Reallusion's 3D Exchange. Not really a problem. It just takes a little time, that's all. Beautiful. File export, and it already has iClone 6 as a default geometry. We want all the parts. Maximum texture size is 1024, and we'll embed the external textures so we can throw them away when we're finished, and we'll just say OK. Successfully exported, and we don't even have to delete that file, we just throw in the next one. OK, and we've got the arm of our digger beautifully done and already lit, so we'll say file export, and it's already named, and it's going into iClone 6, the geometry, all of it, 1024, texture size, not a problem. OK, and what I call the boom is going in now, and there it is, all beautiful. Oh, I don't see JCB for some reason. Wonder why not. Aha, we'll sort that one out later. File, export. OK. OK. The next one will be cab, and I don't suspect that will have its texture on as well. But we shall look at that when we are in iClone. Let's just check and see if it's got its little logo. No, it hasn't. I'll have to do that in Materials, Cab, iClone 6. OK. We'll put the tracks in. This will take a lot longer, because this is where all the polygons are. But, never mind. On we plod. Really, this model is far too big for iClone. We should have made a very much more simpler part and use the cab and the buckets and arms independently, if that's what we want to do. But let's just proceed as we go along. Tumty tumty tum, tumty tumty tum. 3D modeling. Yes, there it is. Okay, so we'll do file export. It's already named tracks, so we'll say okay. Successfully exported. Okay, fine. So that's that done. Let's try iClone 6. Close. We've got our timeline still from the last project. We don't want to see that really. What we want is to go to our set. We had project, actors, animations, stage, and set. We want custom props that have just come in, and here they are. Let's start at the bottom. Lots of people start at the bottom. Boom. Where's the boom? Did I double click it? Yes. Arm and the bucket. So there we are. We'll rotate that around. And there we are. We have one beautiful JCB digger in iClone. Now all we've got to do is put hinges, axes, pivot points on it. So let's have a look here. What have we got? We have quick set. We'll do it at the top. There's the axes. Edit pivot. Pull that down a bit. Okay, we'll just check it with our rotating. So there's the pivot. And while we're at it, we shall give it its parent. We shall pick parent, which is the arm. We won't have it on mesh 2. We will have it on root node 2. The highest one of the hierarchy. I don't know why. But then we will select the arm. We will, while we're at it, we'll pick the parent, which will be the boom. And we'll make sure that we've got the highest one, root node 1. Okay. Now we'll edit the pivot. We want it sort of up there. Yes. Edit pivot. I better. Oh dear, no. What went wrong there? Something did. Edit pivot. Right. All you poser people and blender people must be falling over yourselves with envy. Edit pivot. I want to move it. Not sure this is absolutely necessary. I'm doing it just the same. Okay. Right. Rotate again. Fair enough. Okay. Let's see a bit more. Now, the next thing, which is the boom, is going to be a little tricky, because we're going to edit pivot. Haven't got our manipulators. Because we've got two hinges, this is never going to work as a real hinge, but I'm just going to try it like that and see what happens. It's about central to the 2 points in which it would in fact rotate. Right. Now we want to do the cab. Again, we'll edit the pivot. Happened there. Right. That's the middle. Edit pivot. Now, why does it do that? Not quite sure. Edit pivot. Edit pivot again. We're not getting the right thingy. Anyway, we've done it mechanically. Edit pivot. Edit pivot. Right, that's what we're looking for. These little manipulators. Because we want the hinge, the pivot, the axes to be right over the tracks. The wrong side of the tracks. We don't want them the wrong side of the tracks. No. Okay, so now it's just the tracks to go. So select tracks. Yes, we're still editing the thing. We're quite happy. We'll have it at the center of the tracks. No problem. Okay, but did we do parenting? Let's go back. Did we attach that one? That was attached to root node 1, okay? This one we want to attach to the cab, right? Again, that's root node 0 in this case. And that was the cab. We want the cab attached to the tracks. Okay, we don't want it attached to one of the links, we want it attached to the whole model. Okay, now I was saying about these logos, so let's have a little look and see what we can do. We move on to materials, and we'll take the eyedropper tool, and we've got no JCB selected. That's the one we want. Mesh 1. So we'll just go to our place where we imported the textures from. This one is the cab, and that's the JCB, and there it is. Okay, that was just a bit of luck that we got the right texture from the right place. I can't find the lights. Never mind. Just have to do it later, won't we? So again, we'll pick the logo. Well, not that. We want the materials, eyedropper tool, that colour there, diffuse, and is it the same? Doesn't look quite right. Just check that it is. Desktop. We called it Boom. Oh, it was the same. Okay. So, taking that home, rotating, we should now have a linked model. If you can do that in Poser or Blender or Maya or 3D Max, then please show me. Thank you very much. All we have to do now is animate it. So let's have a look at the timeline. And we don't need these really. So let's put them away just so that we can see a little more. I suppose we could hide them, can we? Right, yes, we have hidden them all together. Nothing to distract us. So, we've got project and root node. Collect clip. Well, we don't want project. We want to see root node, but we don't really want to see clip. Root node 1. We want just to check out that's the whole thing. Let's see all our 2, 3, 4. Let's see them all. The man, see the rabbit. Edit, undo. Oh, bugger. Right. We don't actually need to see these. We want to see. Right, that's okay. Good. Rotate. Not too bad. Not too bad. And the bucket. We want the bucket. Right. Would probably be easier to do it from the timeline. So let's see all the nodes we have. Right. Okay. We have the nodes. Now we're going to do a loop animation. We want the digger to start from the rest position and go into a digging loop. So the best place for it would be from the center of our loop. The bucket would be down a bit. So that's going to be a loop. So for just argument's sake, let's put in a keyframe there, and there. The reasons for doing that will become clearer as we go along. So, our digger will, firstly, it'll go one side, then it will go back, then it'll go the other side. At frame 50, okay, it'll go the other side, of course, and then it will go to the middle, which will be a copy of that one. Right, that'll be a copy, so copy and paste it. No, it won't. Beg its pardon. That'll be right. Left, right, left, right. So our timing's wrong. We want it left, right, left, right. Okay. So, whoop. So it goes dump. And then it'll be high up. Right. So I'll put a keyframe in there. Dump. And that one wants to stay for a while. Copy to there. Paste. Okay. Dump. Dump. Right, so that's staying. That's copy. That wants to go there. Copy and paste. Right, so that's dump, dump, back to there. Okay, so we'll make that a bit better. Oh, I love animation. Right, and there. So that wants to be down in the ground. I really want to see a bit more. Boom, 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 boom. Now the reason we did it like that is because file, we want to see it fit to window. We want to zoom in, make sure, copy, paste, 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 paste. On and on it goes. So we want to slow things down a bit. So we shall I would say that was still too slow. Okay. So let's do delete Sorry, this is all just too concentrated work for me to keep talking. Blabbery, blabbery, blabbery. I find that talking distracts. But there you go. What can you do? Learning all the time, trying to make sense of the world. God, mad. That's what we want. That's it done. File, save project, and there we are. We're quite happy with that. Thank you very much.